Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 5 of what if Kami taught Goku to control his tail. If you haven't seen part 4, there's a title card where you can go check it out and see what happened in the last part. But we'll be going into the Invasion of Earth arc part 1. Yes, part 1. Will the Z fighters come out victorious? What extra threats are they facing on the android side? Also, I own a Discord for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give out some of your own what if ideas, and maybe in the future I could do them. The link is in the description down below. Without further ado, let's dive into part 5 of what if Kami taught Goku how to control his tail. Where we last left off, all the Z fighters split to go face the invasion, with the Saiyans dealing with Frieza and his army, and the Earthlings and Namekians facing the androids. Once the Saiyans arrived to where Frieza landed on Earth, the fight would quickly begin, with Raditz facing off against Frieza to avenge his fallen comrades, Goku facing King Cold, and the Gohans fighting off all the soldiers. When facing Frieza, Raditz transformed into his Super Saiyan state, which ended up shocking Frieza and Cold, and soon realized all the Saiyans could transform into the Super Saiyan. Frieza immediately transformed into his full power form, and their fight is close to equal with Raditz being slightly stronger. No doubt the fight between the two is powerful, as each blow they land creates pressure waves. On the other hand, King Cold transformed into his final form, and he is much stronger than Frieza. Goku, even in his perfected Super Saiyan, is having trouble matching up to him in strength, but is managing to hold up on his own against King Cold, until he receives help from both of his sons, and with their aid they manage to start winning against King Cold. With the humans, they arrived in one of the cities to see an android being 16. They all rush down on him, but quickly realize that they are out of their league against the android based on strength, even when they are using great teamwork. Krillin and Yamcha both use Kaioken times 10, and Tien follows with a Kaioken times 5. They seem to fare better until something unthinkable happens, with Android 16 using Kaioken as well. With the Namekians, once they arrive to a city, they see an android, with it being Dr. Gero. They get into a fight between the three, and even with the Namekians having the edge in numbers, Dr. Gero is faring pretty well on his own until they use the Kaioken technique, but to their surprise, Dr. Gero copied and also went Kaioken. They question how he was able to go Kaioken, and here we get to explain how the androids were able to grow strong even without the data of Frieza and King Cold. Since the data bug would never have been destroyed, Gero was able to spy on the fighters all the time, even when they were training. So, they have the data of the Super Saiyan and Kaioken. This shocks both Piccolo and Kami. Knowing this and on the other possible androids are as strong, if not stronger, than any of the fighters. They seem to be at a disadvantage and need more help to save more lives of the people of Earth. Kami would tell Piccolo to hold off Gero while he communicates with some people. Kami would speak to Mr. Popo to collect the Dragon Balls in case if they would need them, and then begin to telepathically talk to Goku, asking him if he could send a fighter to a different city, as they are occupied with one of the androids, and Goku would send future Gohan to another city. Piccolo would start losing the edge until Kami returns again to make the fight more equal, but still they were having their problem with Gero, until King Kai speaks to Piccolo and tells him that he is sending Pikkon to aid them with this fight, but they need to hold out as it could take some time. With the Earthlings fight, they are still having no luck beating 16, until Tien tells Krillin to hold out on his own, so that he and Yamcha could perform the fusion dance. Krillin would definitely have a hard time holding his own, but since Tien and Yamcha did practice the dance before, they managed to do so in the first attempt, and went back into the fight, and they finally are on equal standing against 16. But then they stack Kaioken times 20, even though they are struggling to deal with the immense backlash of the level of Kaioken, they waste no time in destroying 16. Each blow they landed on 16 did damage, so to end it quickly, they use a spirit ball that sent 16 flying, and then use all their energy to destroy him with the Neo Tri-Beam. They defuse, and Yamcha is okay with just, his body being somewhat sore, but Tien does face more of the backlash, with him overdoing it as his body is strained from the high level of Kaioken, and with him using a lot of his energy. Krillin and Yamcha try to say that he should stay back, but Tien refuses, saying that he's gonna stay longer as they fly over to the next city. Future Gohan would arrive to one of the cities and be met with Android 18. A sudden rage fills his body, remembering what happened to him in his timeline and how she killed his Raditz. Quickly he powers up and begins fighting Android 18. The fight is close to be on equal ground, but 18 is slightly stronger than future Gohan, but he doesn't let that stop him until she activates Kaioken and turns the tide of the battle completely, and future Gohan begins to lose. Raditz would end up killing off Frieza and joining Goku and Gohan to face King Cold, as in his final form he was much stronger than Frieza was. They were worn out, and even though they had the advantage of numbers, they still weren't enough to completely take him out, as their fight kept raging on. Piccolo and Kami begin to show tiredness, and Gero would use that against them and begin to beat on them greatly. with Piccolo taking most of the attack as he could handle more than Kami. But either way, if one of them dies, they both do. Kami says that they must fuse, but Piccolo refuses, saying that they can keep fighting even though they barely are able to stand up. Gero prepares an attack that could finish them off until he is kicked and sent flying away, as Piccolo smirks, saying he took long enough, as Pikkon arrived to the battlefield. Thanks to fortune teller Baba, he was allowed to go to Earth for a full 24 hours. Pikkon wasted no time and went in to fight Gero, and he showed how much stronger he was. Gero was shocked at how strong his opponent is, and he was having trouble fighting back and defending from Pikkon. And with a good solid strike kick, he destroyed Gero, and managed to end him off completely. Pikkon helps Kami and Piccolo and asks what's the plan, as they said they need to head off to the next city and fight the other androids. The humans arrive into another city and they are greeted with Android 19. With Tien not being able to stand, he is out of the fight, and the duo begins their brawl with 19. Knowing what to expect, they power up to Kaioken ×5, as they are still damaged from the last battle. But they are faring their own for a bit against 19, but these androids are much stronger, and soon they lose the edge on 19 and begin to get taken down. Trying to use coordinated attacks to fight off 19, but it doesn't matter as every time they get back up they end up getting knocked back down, until it was just Krillin standing. Heavily damaged, he doesn't know what to do until he hears a yell, "Evil Containment Wave," as it hits 19. He looks over to see Tien trying his best to stand and seal 19 away. He managed to do so, but after closing the container, he completely collapsed to the floor as Krillin rushes over to him, barely sensing any life force left in Tien. Yamcha and Krillin try their best to keep Tien from losing his life, but decide to stay where they are for now in fear of losing Tien. Future Gohan's luck worsens as Android 17 manages to reunite with 18, and together they beat on Future Gohan with ease, giving him no chance to fight back. He grows angry and he says that he won't allow them to destroy this planet, as he powers up rushing into attack, but is quickly sent flying away. As they prepare to end him, they are kicked away by Pikkon as he goes in to fight the two androids. Piccolo and Kami head over to Future Gohan as he is terribly beaten right now, and barely could move, as Piccolo and Kami aren't doing much better. Pikkon though is now having a challenge against the two androids, even though he is very strong, but having to fight two androids that are kinda close to his power could prove a challenge to him. With the Saiyans, both sides are showing to be tired, but continue to fight up until it goes onto a beam struggle with King Cold. He releases a death ball to attempt to completely blow up the earth. Goku fires a Kamehameha wave to push it back, but he is slowly being overtaken from it, until both Gohan and Raditz shoot their own Kamehameha wave, and together begin to shoot the death ball back to King Cold. He manages to keep it at a standstill, and even manages to have the beam struggle explode and send everyone flying back. Both King Cold and the Saiyans struggle to get back up as King Cold is angry on how he is losing to some Saiyans, as he shoots a ki blast straight into the Earth's core, and the Earth begins to explode. As Goku yells out no and uses all of his energy and rage to shoot a blast right at King Cold, completely erasing him without leaving a trace, but he powers down and falls to the floor, being exhausted. Everyone sees the planet begins to get destroyed and think that they have failed, but Kami quickly gets into contact with Mr. Popo to summon Shenron to wish for the Earth to be recovered, and so which he does, and manages to prevent the destruction of Earth for now. And also, after upgrading Shenron, he still has one more wish to make, and tells Mr. Popo to be on standby for when they are ready to make that wish. Kami sees Pikkon beginning to lose against the androids, and being tossed around, he gets into contact with everyone and tells them that they all need to group up to him, as they need everyone's help to finish the last of the threat, which both other groups would carry their most wounded and begin to head to Kami as fast as they could. Piccolo sees Pikkon losing and goes in to help him, to the dismay of Kami, as either one of them could die, and if they do, everyone would perish. Together they fight off 17 and 18, but with Piccolo being weakened, he is just taking so much damage and being tossed to the side. They continue to beat up Pikkon and start to get bored and prepare to kill him. Piccolo sees this and tries to stop them, but is too damaged to even get up, as all he could do is watch as they end up shooting a blast right through Pikkon as he collapses to the floor. And this moment is where the other groups arrive to the battlefield to witness someone dying in the battlefield, and quickly rush to see who it was. The androids mock the fighter for being weak, until they all see a big bug-like creature be right behind the androids, and they all look at pure shock and some even fearful as the androids both turn around and are immediately cut in half and destroyed, and the bug-like creature is shown and everyone would see Cell. But not in perfect Cell. This Cell is already in his perfect form, as he gives off a smirk to everyone, says that they will perish a terrible death, as Cell quickly shoots a death beam right through Kami, and Piccolo falls over in pain, as he slowly is fading. And that's where we're gonna leave it out for now. Tell me how you think about part 5 and how it did with the first part of the Invasion on Earth arc. What would the fighters do against a perfect Cell? How did he even get perfect without the absorption of the androids? Would they be able to win against him? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya!